Hello, are you a recently diagnosed diabetic or a newly diagnosed diabetic? If you are, then this video is for you. I am Dr. Balasubramanian. Today, I would like to talk something about a person who's diagnosed very recently as a diabetic and what the person should know about diabetic, how he became a diabetic patient. Simply, the evolution of diabetes in him. If he understands this, how he became diabetic, the mechanism or the process why he became diabetic, if he knows this, he will understand how he is being approached by the doctor in treating him. Shall we talk something about it? Before that, imagine three types of people. The first person is completely paralyzed. He cannot do any work. A disabled person physically because of his age. If you want to help him, you have to give him money. Only that way you can help him. The second person, he has still capacity to earn, working for a long time. He has become a bit tired, but he has got the strength and capacity to earn. He will earn more if he is motivated or stimulated by someone. So for this person, you motivate or stimulate him to earn. Don't give him money. He doesn't need money because he can earn money. The third person is a person who can earn a lot. He is earning a lot, but he doesn't know how to spend the money and how to save the money. So for him also, we are not to give him money, but we will teach him how to spend the money which he is earning a lot. Remember these three people. Now, let us compare these three people with our body and the body's capacity to produce insulin and the level of insulin. When a person is newly diagnosed as a diabetic, it is not that particular day he is diagnosed as diabetic because he would have been in a state of pre-diabetic. In your words, I can say a borderline diabetic for some years before. You can say he has been a part-time diabetic. And when the level of sugar is just raised, in the sense, one day it was normal and one day it was a mild elevation, we do not take it seriously. And remember, that is the stage the pancreas was struggling to maintain the balance of blood sugar. In this struggle, sometimes it succeeded and sometimes a little failure was there. When it succeeded in its attempt to maintain, your blood sugar was normal. When there was a little failure by the pancreas to balance, a little bit of elevation was there, but it did not affect you. You did not care for it. And you can call this, in your words, a borderline diabetic. Only it's a starting stage of diabetic. These are all words either you imagine or even the doctors say that it is only it's a starting stage. There's nothing like starting stage, but you take it just like that. One reason because it's just a value, a mild rise, and many times it becomes normal. And I don't have any symptoms, and it is just in a borderline. I think I can control it. I don't think I'm a diabetic. Now you try something. How? To control your diabetic. You just stop adding sugar to your coffee or tea, and you are satisfied that you have done something, thinking that it is, when you say blood sugar, it is sugar that is you are adding for a coffee, and you stop that immediately. He believes that he will not have diabetes and he is not having diabetes. The highlight is after doing this, he never recheck his sugar level, whether the action taken by him is working or not. He just keeps going and you wait till symptoms appear, till you become a full-blown diabetic. What I mean is till your fasting as well as the postprandial sugar gets raised continuously. Now you become a full-time diabetic. From a part-time diabetic when the pancreas was struggling, Now the pancreas has failed to control. Now you become a full-time diabetic. Because remember one thing, we just check the fasting sugar and the postprandial sugar, that is 2 hours after food. And if the values are normal, we are satisfied. Okay, my value is normal. But there is something behind that which many of us do not realize, especially when you have a fluctuating level, a little bit increase and all. What is the fact that we fail to understand? We do not know how much the pancreas tried, overworked, and suffered to bring your sugar value to a normal, fasting as well as postprandial. You don't know how many number of cells, insulin secreting cells, were employed to bring the sugar back to normal. The pancreas started employing more and more cells, insulin secreting cells, to increase the level of insulin because it was not able to control the blood sugar level by using the usual number of cells. So it has to increase or employ more number of cells. This we do not know. Apart from that, another thing we fail to see in the sense, the fasting you see, the postprandial you see, and you do not know how much the blood sugar raised in between the fasting and the postprandial. It would have raised to 200 or more 1 hour after food. But the pancreas tried its best to give a normal value after 2 hours. During that 200 milligram raise after an hour of food, you were a diabetic for some time. That's why I said you were a part-time diabetic. Now what happens? More number of cells have been employed to bring back to normal level. They would have worked a lot and over time, and the cells become tired due to the extra work. They got exhausted. Now what happens? They are not able to produce the usual level of insulin that they produce usually. Now the quantity of insulin level is slowly going down. When the insulin level is going down, the sugar level starts rising and it continues. Now you are diagnosed as a diabetic. Only even after employing all insulin secreting cells, if it fails in that attempt, the sugar level starts rising permanently and steadily. And you think, only today I am diagnosed as a diabetic. And that too, if you do not have symptoms, when you go for some other checkup, you are accidentally diagnosed as a diabetic because you don't have any symptoms. And you believe that the day you checked your blood is the day you became diabetic. No. The first thing, you did not do a regular checkup and you did not have any symptoms. So these two factors make you wait till you are accidentally diagnosed as diabetic. So if somebody asks, since when you are a diabetic, don't count the day from the day you were diagnosed, but it would have been years before you were diagnosed. This fact many people do not understand and accept even. Well, you are diagnosed and you now start knowing something about insulin. And from the facts we discussed, what is the main thing that make you a diabetic? The level of insulin. And of course, this is the only hormone that reduces the blood sugar. All the other hormones like the growth hormone, adrenaline, cortisol, all these hormones, they try to increase the sugar actually. So you have one weapon to fight against diabetes is insulin, but there are more enemies against this insulin. They are fighting against insulin, but the insulin should win this war, the war between the sugar raising hormones and the sugar reducing hormone, namely insulin. Now you are diagnosed as a diabetic. There are two factors they play a role. One, the insulin secreting capacity. How many insulin secreting cells are live and how much they secrete? That is one factor. The second factor is how the body utilizes the insulin which is secreted by the pancreas. What are these three possibilities? How you became a diabetic? Number one is, as far as insulin level is concerned, the first possibility, no insulin. That means no insulin is secreted by the pancreas. No one is there to prevent the rise of the sugar in your blood. This is first possibility. Second possibility is insufficient insulin. The number of insulin secreting cells is low. The reason may be some of the cells are dead. The reasons let us not go into detail now. Just understand. The number of cells may be low. That means what? The cells are there, but not enough cells. The cells which are present has the capacity, they have the capacity to produce insulin, to secrete insulin, to manufacture insulin. But the amount of insulin produced by this less number of cells is not sufficient. That is why I said insufficient. This is second possibility. The third possibility is the quantity of insulin is more, but it is not properly utilized by the body due to some reasons. One classical example is obesity, and you call this as insulin resistance. The body resists insulin to do its function. So you have three types of people: no insulin, insufficient insulin, and more insulin. These are the three possibilities by which you would have become. In the third group, the sugar level rises. To reduce the sugar level, insulin level starts rising to lower the level. But the body is not responding or not utilizing this insulin. Now what happens? The sugar level rises further. Now the body secretes some more insulin because the sugar level is going on rising. This cycle repeats. Increase in sugar, increase in insulin. If you check these people, for these people, the sugar level is also high, the insulin level is also high. So you reach a stage where both sugar as well as insulin level are high. Hyperglycemia with hyperinsulinemia. This is a stage. This is the third group of people. The blood report shows both high level. Now, having known this, is it not pertinent to know the level of insulin, to know which category you belong, the patient belongs? Does he belong to the no insulin group, less insulin group, or more insulin group? Based on this only, you can start a treatment. And if a doctor starts a treatment, you will also understand in what line, in what is the approach the doctor is going. Now, we talked about three people when I started this video. Let us compare those three people with this situation or scenario. The paralyzed person who cannot earn money, we were giving money to him. He is equal to the first category of people. No insulin, that means the body is not able to secrete insulin. Like a paralyzed person who cannot earn, we gave money to him. So give insulin like giving money to that person. The second person, earning capacity is there. You stimulated him and motivated him to earn. Like that, insulin secreting capacity is there, so you stimulate the cells with medicines to secrete more insulin using his capacity, or give him less work based on his capacity. How? Like controlling the diet. That means less work using the insufficient insulin. So this person who has got insufficient insulin but has the capacity to produce is equal to the second person who has the capacity to earn, but we motivated him to earn. We did not give him money. This group, we stimulate the pancreas to secrete insulin and we are not giving him insulin. This is second group. The third person, he has the earning capacity and he is earning a lot. He doesn't know how to spend. He is something like more insulin and more sugar person, the third group. What would you do him? For this person, you educated him how to spend money. You did not give him money. You did not stimulate him to earn more money, but you trained him or you advised him how to spend the money. Like that, the third group people who has got more insulin and more sugar, we educated our body how to use the available insulin so that you can save the overworking pancreas for some more years. Once you educate the body to use the available insulin, the pancreas can take rest because it has been overworking, over secreting insulin. Now, because the secreted insulin is used properly, the pancreas can secrete a bit less insulin. In that case, the pancreas can be saved from becoming overtired, and you can prevent the failure of the pancreas to secrete this. So for these people, attend the reason why the body is not utilizing the insulin. A very common cause and the usual cause, what we know is the weight and obesity. If you reduce the weight or if you prevent obesity, the insulin resistance will be reduced. And use the available insulin. Give rest to the overworking cells. Preserve the cells for years to come. We can prevent this third group of people from becoming a full-blown diabetic. If you do this and you have become normal after some time by doing this, by reducing the insulin resistance, by reducing your weight, people say that I have reversed my diabetes. This is what people do. They are not reversing the diabetes, but by taking some measures like weight reduction, they make use of the insulin. By that, the sugar is controlled. And you say that I have reversed the diabetic. It's not reversal. It is only a remission because once you gain weight again, you are going to come back to the original status. Or if you stop exercising and if you stop reducing your weight, the steps taken to reduce your weight, if you stop and you are going back to again a diabetic status. I think I have given an explanation, the evolution of diabetes in you, what has happened, and what are the reasons that you become diabetic. If you know all these facts, now the treatment aspect you can understand. A no insulin person has to take insulin directly. It's a replacement therapy. Insufficient insulin, you can give him some medicine to stimulate the available insulin secreting cells so that they can do some more work and they can give you some more insulin. The third people, by giving some medicines, by doing some exercises and lifestyle changes, you can make use of this insulin which is available. The line of treatment, the line of management depends on these three factors: no insulin, less insulin, more insulin. This is how the approach should be, and this is what you should know when you are diagnosed very recently as a diabetic. So it is not very important to know how much is insulin secreted in me before before we start a treatment for a newly diagnosed diabetic. Yes, it is. This is the bottom line message for you. And that's all for now. We will meet with some other topic next time. Thank you.